Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Puppets. Today, cracking the final beer for Barley Wember. But don't worry, we're going to be cracking barley wines, even though it's not November or Barley Wember, because I drink barley wine year round. But for the occasion, I wanted to plow through some barley wine during the month of November. So we did quite a few ones. I still have quite a few in the cellar to try. Yeah, stay tuned for more barley wine. Actually, I did a lot of varied beer, I think, this month. But towards the end here, I plowed through quite a few. I think we did more barley wine than we usually do, at least. But yeah, so we're finishing off strong, I hope. We're finishing off with none other than Anchorage Brewing's Wendigo. It's batch number 2. Look at that. This artwork is fuego. Holy titfuck. I mean, look at that. That's so mythical and metal. I love it. I guess this is the artist Massive Face, and it's his rendition of what a Wendigo would look like. And it's even got antlers, it looks like, too. I just love that. It's beautiful. And then the wax, the original batch of this, the first batch, it was glow-in-the-dark wax. That's really freaking cool. I don't think I've seen anyone else really do that, at least to my knowledge. But yeah, Anchorage, such an amazing brewery. The best brewer of barley wine, I think. Gabe is just magic with barley wine. He just really knows how to wrangle this style and wrangle it well. I don't think I've ever had a deal with the devil that's not been world class, or any of his barley wines. I think the only ones where I've been a bit like, is it too much or whatever, is some of the stouts. There was a few that was just a bit too over the top. Or were they even too over the top? I actually think I graded them fairly high. I think I said this is almost borderline too much, or something like that. But that's the thing with craft beer these days. There's a lot of beers that are borderline too much now. But no, back to Anchorage and what they do best is barley wine. They also do a lot of other things fantastically. But this is what they're known for. And I think actually Wendigo is Gabe's favorite. At least it was at some point, because he said in an interview with Craft Beer Brewing podcast that he really loved this. And it was one of his favorites. As far as I remember. It's a while ago since I listened to that podcast. But it's a double oaked black barley wine, following the double oaking tradition of his A Deal with the Devil, where it's shorter intervals of barrel aging in barrels, where they're treated for a while in one barrel and then jumping to the next. So the total aging time is the same as most brewers in the state, like 12 months plus. This is like shorter intervals in each barrel, so you get a lot of whiskey flavor in the beer. But that means you have to have a really robust base beer and A Deal with the Devil and its counterparts is. So this was aged in Heaven Hill bourbon barrels for 2 months and then transferred to Woodford Reserve barrels for an additional 4 months. So not double oaked barrels, or what? It's a double oak beer, but it's just often he'd use not Woodford Reserve barrels only. He used Woodford Reserve double oaked barrels. They have a double oaked whiskey, which is like it's finished in extra charry barrels, or charred oak barrels. It's 15.5%, so massive beer. And if I remember correctly, I think he also talked about this is a barley wine that he colors with cinnabar. Like the thing that makes this black is cinnabar, which is a black kind of malt extract for coloring that you can get from Weilmann in Germany. I think it was something like that. But who cares? If it's tasting awesome, I'm all for it. So I actually wanted to air the last video as A Deal with Evil, but I ended up posting it earlier because I didn't have anything to post because of a hectic week and whatever, kids and whatever, and I needed to get that out, and I wanted to get some other barley wines out. So that was posted earlier. But that beer I want to mention again because that is probably one of the best barley wines I've ever had, and it's probably one of my favorite variations on his A Deal with the Devil beers. So yeah, insanity. But let's dig into Wendigo. I have a few friends that tried it. They really love it. So I'm sure I'm going to love it as well. Pour is a pretty black color in the glass. It looks pitch black on camera, but it's in reality, it's kind of like a Schwarzbier or something like that in terms of color, because it's like black with a slight reddish brownish hue. It looks nice. Oh man, I'm so looking forward to this. Let's stick our nose in this massive beer. Oh, that smells. That is the onrush of barrel that I expected. Massive, rich bourbon character. really like intense cherry note to this one as well, which I actually just got from a different beer as well. But yeah, it's warm and it's fuming. You really get the whiskey, but it's underneath all that. There's like this really, really fudgy base beer with loads of caramel and toffee. I'm also getting a little bit of a coffee nuance to this and chocolate, like dark chocolate, but it's like super light, or actually Cocoa Puffs as well, but a little bit of that. But it's super light. It's like a whisper of it because like barley wines, you don't want them to go too much into that kind of chocolatey territory. And I wonder if that's, I think it's mainly from like the barrel, because if this follows his traditional way of making these beers, it's like one base malt and one crystal malt or something, nothing too complex. Like, and then boil for a long time, and like the process. And you should go listen to the podcast from Craft Beer and Brewing. The process for making these beers are insane. But yeah, it smells a little bit hotter than some of the double oaked counterparts, like A Deal with the Devil, or even the well, those also smell hot. I'm also getting a little bit more dark fruit to this one, as it like sits in the glass. Initially, it was all the caramel and bourbon, but I'm definitely getting like pruny, raisiny, figgy nuances. But it smells really good, man. The barrels shine so much. I just want to sink my teeth into this, so let's do it. Cheers. And yeah, where did I get this? I either traded for this in the States, or I bought it in the European release. But I actually think I got this from the States because there was a European release of this. It smells wonderful. I'm going to be getting a bit of maple now as well. Let's shut up and drink. Cheers. Oh, I'm so happy that I chose a beer like this to finish on. This just hits the parameters you're looking for in upper echelon barley wine. Like the richness is there, it's so full bodied, the barrels really shine, and the layers and the depth are massive. There's so much going on. But there's a lot of barrel in this one. I feel like there's more barrel flavor and like screaming warm barrel than like some of the. Well, also I think maybe the difference with the A Deal with Evil is the red wine barrel. I think that might mellow it a bit, but that also had a lot of barrel. But that seemed a bit sweeter than this one too. But that was 17%. This is like the kind of barley wines I want to brew, man. Oh, it's good. It's so decadent yet drinkable. It's crazy. Like it's a 15.5% barrel aged barley wine, and I just want to keep sipping on it. Like it's nuts, and it's just because this beer has like that ideal mouthfeel and richness and sweetness, but without the barrel, that would maybe be too much. Then you put it in the barrel, and then you on the barrels, and then you just have this match made in heaven, like where you have that insane base beer and those insanely awesome barrels paired together and making wonders. Like so, you just have like this awesome harmony of flavor that creates even more complexity than the each drink on its own. Like it's a really cool marriage of the spirit world and the beer world, I think, and one of the coolest, like barrel aged beer, spirit barrel aged big beer is still, even though I'm so into lagers and all these things these days, it's still some of the most awesome things you can drink. It's just like it's one of those experiences where you're drinking. There's just so much going on. You can just really sit and contemplate and enjoy it, and it's just an experience to drink it, which is amazing. Like I need to go to Alaska at some point. I want it. It would be amazing to see Alaska's nature, but I really want to go to Anchorage. It would be amazing to go there and hang out and they drink amazing beers. It's truly one of my favorite breweries. It gets better as it sits in the glass too. Like it gets more cohesive. I get to breathe. It's almost like a glass of wine. You need to swirl it around a bit to get everything going. It's such a phenomenal beer. I think it's quite similar to something like the double oak to deal with the devils in terms of levels of flavor and quality and everything. It's peak barley wine. But I also don't think it's as good as some of the best from Anchorage. I think for me, still the best two barrel aged Anchorage beers is the Triple Oak, The Deal with the Devil, which was batch 2, maybe I tried, and then A Deal with Evil. And I might even put A Deal with Evil higher than Triple Oak. It was just so unique because of that wine barrel. It was, and the was it rye barrels too? It was just such an insane beer, and I really, really, really wish I had more of that. Like the fact that it's so rich and so flavorsome yet so drinkable, it's insane. So let's run through flavors. So much caramel and fudge, loads of screaming fudgy candy bourbon barrel, vanilla. There's a bit of toasted almonds to it as well, a bit of marzipan, charred wood, but it's not like heavily charred. It's quite balanced. Then on top of that, you get like almost like a little bit of a coffee, almost if you did like coffee cocoa puffs or cocoa puffs even. Also, lots of cigar tobacco, sweet pipe tobacco. There's like a leathery nuance. Man, okay, I'm really loving it the more I'm drinking it. I love that experience as well. That's like when you get beers and you're amazed at when you first try it, and then you just get more into it the more you drink it is awesome. Yeah, and some dry, like the dark fruits, and actually caramelized dark fruits, caramelized figs, or if you have like for Christmas, these boxes you can get with dates that are all sticky and gooey, something like that, like dates and figs that are caramelized. It was released in 21, and this is a case of a beer really improving in the cellar. I don't know how it was fresh. I remember some people I talked to or saw online back when it came to Europe said it was a bit too hot. It's hot, but I think it really mellows out nicely in the glass as it sits. Like when you have as much as I do sitting with it on your own, it just gets better. Like especially with the carbonation dying down a bit, it gets better. Wonderful, world class, like 96, maybe a small 97. 97 maybe, yeah, actually 97. This is just a joy to drink. But yeah, wonderful stuff. If you guys had a chance to try Wendigo batch number 2, the double oak barley wine from 21 in Heaven Hill and Woodford Reserve barrels, let me know what you thought of it. This is just wonderful stuff. If you can still find this in Europe, and I think you can on some web shops, get it and treat yourself. And if you happen to find A Deal with Evil, let me know. I'll be on that like a hawk, because that beer is just, oh man. But yeah, if you had to let me know, as always, comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And thanks for a fantastic Barley Wember. And cheers. And see you next year for the next Barley Wember. And of course, more beer reviews in December. Cheers.